Hey guys, it's Morgan Zegers, and if you believe in the Constitution, you're going to be pretty disappointed with what I have to share with you now. In case you didn't know, when the heat of COVID-19 first came, the government decided to start an eviction moratorium. They were worried that people who might lose their jobs and income because of the pandemic wouldn't be able to pay rent and would then be evicted. The policy was well-intentioned, of course, but had terrible consequences as Americans across the country realized they could take advantage of the moratorium. Renters around the country that could have and should have been paying their rent decided to just stop because, hey, the government said you can't kick them out. Which meant the landlords were then forced to take on all those extra bills of having people essentially squatting on their properties, and many had to take on a second or third job just to get by. One property owner in New York wrote to a tenant who had been living in the apartment for a year without paying rent and said, "What you are doing right now is robbery. What you're doing is stealing from me." And he's right. This moratorium on evictions has gone too far. The Supreme Court even said it was horrible and wrong just this June and made it pretty clear that this is unconstitutional and unjust. As the pandemic winds down, it only makes sense that this horrible policy ends once and for all. And it was supposed to end this week. But what happened instead? The Biden administration announced a new moratorium on evictions. The moratorium comes from the CDC, an unelected body of bureaucrats that has shown time and time again that they have no regard for the freedom and constitutional rights of the American people. So what will happen? This rent-free, no eviction style of living is going to be allowed until October at least. And I'm willing to bet some good money that they don't plan on stopping it in October. It's just going to keep going. Let's get real, though. This attack on private property and property owners has been a part of the socialist left's plan from the beginning. They are now just finally able to act on these plans by fear-mongering thanks to this crisis we're in. The reality is that the world is no longer in this terrible place, and it was in the beginning stages of COVID. If you're scared to go out because of the germs, good news, there's a vaccine for you to take. If you're worried you won't be able to pay rent anymore, good news, again, there are more job openings right now than people looking for jobs. You will find work and you'll be able to pay your bills. My favorite reaction to this whole situation so far has been from Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana, who said some in the Biden administration feel that the Constitution is just a nuisance, and I think he couldn't be more right.